Alrighty, welcome to a 64-player draft here on Magic Online. Magic Online had to update, so I barely got in, but I'm first picking a Windswept Heath here, or I'm trying to, depending on if my Magic Online is frozen. Alright, there we go. We first picked Windswept Heath, which was not an ideal first pick, and second pick, I'm afraid it's going to be something pretty medium as well. Here, let me make that a little bigger. Alright, so first picked Windswept Heath, and reminder, these are single a limb, winner take all. So if you 3-0 the first draft, you get to play in the second. Not a good start here. I could take Zagoth Triumph, which adds 2 colors to Heath. That's kind of the ideal scenario with Triumph fetch land, is you have one that only touches one of the colors. Could take Sneak Attack. It's a powerful card. Could take Jace Vryn's Prodigy. I think I'm just going to take Sneak. I don't really love this start, but didn't have a wealth of great options. Okay, so here there's actually good cards. There's a Prismatic Vista, a Steam Vents, an Inti, love that card, Echo of Eons. Given that I have Sneak, I'm feeling like Steam Vents might be better than Vista. It's close. So Vista is obviously all colors, and that is definitely strong. Steam Vents makes fetch lands into more colors, and blue-red is one of the colors I'll most want to be if I keep Sneak. I could also just take Inti. It's just a really good card. Honestly, I think I might just do that. And I like Echo, but I don't feel like I'm supposed to take Echo in this spot. I'll take Inti here. Okay, now we're back to medium cards again. I could take Show and Tell because I have Sneak, but I'm not loving that. I could take Luminarch Aspirant, not worry about the Sneak, and have the start to a red-white deck, because Windswept Heath is a good fetch for red-white, and Inti is a fantastic aggro card. I could take Escape. I don't want a 4th pick Escape to the Wilds. I don't think Coalition Relic's that good anymore. I do like Bitter Triumph, but I don't think it makes sense to take it here. Spelunking has seemed mostly like garbage. These cube changes are funny. It's like a lot of underperforming cube cards certainly got cut, and I like that. A lot of the cards that added are quite bad. I kind of don't understand. But, all right, I'm going to take Luminarch Aspirant because I feel like we're not off to a great start. We haven't seen any strong pulls in the Sneak Attack direction, and our best card as of right now is Inti. I mean, Sneak could easily be our best card, but Inti is like an A- card by itself, and Sneak is an F by itself, but obviously an A in the right deck. So we'll see where this develops. Okay, and this pack has not much for the Sneak version of the deck. There's Inferno Titan, but I think the Inferno Titan is on the low end of Sneak targets. It's fine. All the Titans right now are like okay to cheat into play and okay to cast, but not outstanding. I'd rather have cards like Archon, which are just almost a straight up win when you sneak them in and just can't cast them, or Atraxa, which is basically a win, but you can also sometimes cast it. I think I might just take Firebolt. Firebolt's good. It's good with Inti. It's good with Aspirant. I don't think I want Blood Crypt here, though Blood Crypt is tempting too, because Blood Crypt has a lead into a red-black deck. Okay, here there's Umezawa's Jitte, there's Gut True Soul Zealot. 3 mana, 2/2. When you attack, you can sack a creature or artifact, and if you do, you make a 4/1 menace attacker. I mean, that is pretty good in some decks, not really in this one. The best cards in this pack are like Court of Garenbrig's pretty savage. It's you become the Monarch, get 2+1/+1 counters a turn, and then if you're the Monarch, you double the number of counters on all your creatures. This card kills your opponent really quickly. In fact, I might take it. I have a Windswept Heath. It's actually kind of sick with both of these cards because it doubles counters. I really don't think GT is that good anymore. All right, I'm going to take Court of Garenbrig, and we'll see where this goes. Now I could take Savannah, or I could take Figure of Destiny. I could also take Arc Trail or Leyline Binding or Devoted Druid, but I think these are all worse. Savannah doesn't make Windswept Heath better, but it does just add more to the... Here, I'm going to put Sneak in the sideboard for now. Ways I can cast Court. I could also just take Figure of Destiny and still be... Yeah, I'm still just going to take Figure. It's such a good card, and if the opportunity to play green opens up, then maybe I'll go that direction. I just think Figure is pretty hard to pass up, so we'll see if we get the lands right to play these cards. But now I think I'm still just going to take Thraben Inspector over Elvish Mystic and Soul Scar Mage. It's a late miscalc, but Thraben Inspector is great. So let's do this. And I'm not loving this start, but I don't feel like going the sneak route would have been better. And again, my first couple packs, they didn't really provide a strong move in any direction. Yeah, and once again, we have a pack with a good green card and a pack with a good white card, and I'm just going to take the white card here. I also think Skyclave's a better card than Cobra. And now here's a big one. Containment Priest, which is good against... I'm going to put the court in the sideboard too. Containment Priest, which is good against unfair decks, or Fire Blast, which is just a messed up card if you get it to work. I'm going to take the Fire Blast. I'm just going to... I think this deck is going to be a little underpowered. Obviously, I could open a Lotus or a Soul Ring or a Mox and, you know, kind of get back a little bit of that. But Fire Blast is the kind of card that wins games out of nowhere, steals games completely. Steel Seraph is good. I really need to pick up some red-white duels because I really want to play Inti and Firebolt and Fire Blast. But I have a decent fetch for that. I'll take Lion Sash. It's not my favorite card, but I'm not playing any of the other ones. So I'm down in Umezawa's Jite, and I guess whatever. I took Sneak over. So I think that, all right, that's a late Kithian. I mean, white seems relatively open. White and green both seem open. I don't think red as a color is like, you know, that open, but the red aggro cards are. All right, so now, oh, this is interesting. Honestly, I'm going to try taking Gut. Gut is single red, and I have Thraben Inspector. That's such a good card with it. Just mocking me. Opening Tolarian Academy when I'm just going to be like, all right, here's a Burst Lightning. I mean, it's probably what I'm going to take. I think I like Burst Lightning more than Flame Slash. I don't know. Burst Lightning goes face, which is pretty critical. There's also a Blade Splicer, but I think one of the burn spells is going to be better for me. Yeah, I could take Blade Splicer. Blade Splicer is also a combo with Gut, but I don't think I necessarily want to maximize my 3-drops with other 3-drops. That doesn't sound like a great plan. Question is, do I want Flame Slash or Blade Splicer? Or Burst Lightning. I think I'll take Burst. Okay, so here's Najeela the Blade Blossom. 2 in a red for a 3-2. When a warrior attacks, you make a 1/1 white warrior a token that's tapped and attacking. Let's see. Kithkin, Soldier, Knight, Cleric, Angel, Shaman. Why is this card in the cube? It's ridiculous. I think I'm going to take Caracas. It's just a busted card. And if Dragon's Rage Channeler or maybe Najeela by the time it wheels, I'll have some warriors. I don't know. Stomping Ground could be good, but I don't really think I'm splashing green at this point. There's also Skull Clamp, but honestly, I don't really want to spend mana and time to draw cards in an aggro deck. I think you just want to take Caracas and you want to try to curve out. I do like Samwise, though. Samwise is a great combo with Fetch Lands. It's a great combo with Caracas. It actually has multiple combos with Caracas. So you can cast Samwise, make something else a legend, and use Caracas to bounce that creature. Like you could make Steel Seraph into a legend if you wanted by giving it the Tempted by the Ring. And you can use Caracas to bounce Samwise. So tons of different little combos. And Seasoned Hallowblade, yeah, maybe that'll wield. I don't think Gaia's Cradle will. Oh, wow. As much as I want Sacred Foundry and Chrome Mox, I think I just have to take Parallax Wave. Parallax Wave is just an I win button, and this deck really needs that. So I'm going to take Parallax Wave and be kind of sad that I had to pass Sacred Foundry. Now I'm going to take Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt's just too efficient to pass up. At this point, I mean, Parallax Wave is one of the few cards I would take over a red-white duel. So at this point, I'm really looking for one, and maybe Legionnaire or Usher wheel out of this pack. That would be convenient. Here we have Adeline versus Flicker Wisp. I don't think either of the red cards are good enough. Also, I am going to prioritize taking white cards over red cards when I see them. But here, because right now I've got, let's set aside the Fire Blast. I have 3 burn spells and an Inti I really want to play. So I think Adeline is just a stronger card. Luminarch is good, or sorry, Flicker Wisp is good with Parallax Wave. Adeline is just such a good aggressive card, though. I think just a clock is what I want. Now I'll take Selfless Spirit over my boy Currency Converter. I think I like Selfless over Revoker. Saving your good cards is pretty important. And definitely don't want Manamorphose. I like Bob, but not here. Scrapwork Mud is okay. Glimmerlens is okay. I might actually take Guardian Scalelord. It's an expensive card, but it's really good with Parallax Wave. I have some high-powered creatures. And I don't think Glimmerlands, Kenra, or Scrapwork Mutt are something I'm going to miss. Guardian Scalelord adds a very different aspect to that. So I'm like a plateau away from having, I think, a pretty solid deck. Yeah, albeit with no power, so I'm not going to have any of those busted starts. But, yeah, you know, this is, I think, a way to salvage some like pretty mediocre opens. Like my first picks so far have been Windswept Teeth and Burst Lightning. That's just, I'm going to be playing against people whose first picks were Mox Sapphire, Ancestral Recall, that sort of thing. All right, well, this is a great sign. Blade Splicer wheeled, so did Flame Slash, so did Temple Garden. I think I'm in the right lane. I think I'm going to take the Blade Splicer. I have a bunch of burn spells. I'm not sure how much red I'm going to play. And I think Blade Splicer goes well with a bunch of my stuff. I could have taken Temple Garden, but I think this Court of Garenbrig is just not going to be played at this point. Maybe Lion Sash could be a sideboard card. I'm just not thrilled to play it. I have a lot of threes, so Ancient Tomb Residia Traders would be a great pickup. I mean, obviously a Mox would help a lot, but we could use some more 1-drops and definitely some red-white mana producers. Oh, wow, weird. Najila wield. I think I'm going to take... I think maybe now I take Skull Clamp. It did wheel. I picked up an Adeline and a Blade Splicer. Sure. I don't need Dragon's Rage Channeler that badly. And Sarah Paragon's on the slow side. This... So I could take the Proving Ground to make Windswept Teeth sack for red mana, but I'm just going to take Seasoned Hallowblade. It's better for me. And also, if I pick up enough white cards, like imagine I cut Fire Blast, Burst Lightning, Firebolt, and Gut, and I'm just playing Inti and Lightning Bolt or something like that, or maybe Inti, Lightning Bolt, and Burst Lightning. That seems totally reasonable, even with not much in the way of fixing. Wow. Super late Abrade, too. Okay, I mean, I do think that... Oh, and Porcelain Legionnaire wheeled, but Usher of the Fallen didn't? That's really bizarre. I'd like Chandra, but Chandra's just not castable in this deck at this point. Oh, and Flickerous with 2 cards left. All right. You know, we might have a monster White Weenie pack in pack 3. Also, that Qasali Pride Mage isn't a 0, depending on where my mana ends up. You know, if I can open a piece of power, and I kind of did. Mana Crypt is actually incredibly busted. Sorry, Swords to Plowshares. All right, this is our path to victory. Open Mana Crypt. Now we can play all these 3s on turn 1 if we draw it. Probably wheel Esper Sentinel. And just get the lion's share of white cards. I'm talking getting Thalia, getting Solitude, you know, like if I can get a bunch of really good white cards this pack, or I get a Plateau and, you know, maybe another fetch land, then I think that this deck could have a real shot. Okay, and pick 2 it drops off a bit as they do. I'm going to take Council's Judgment. It's just a solid removal spell. Nothing too exciting and probably would wheel, but there's nothing else for me. All right, here we go. 4th Eorlingus is a really great card. So I'm going to take 4th Eorlingus over Smuggler's Copter. I think just 4th is too good to pass up. And now, at this point, I would take a red-white land over basically anything. Thalia might be like the only card that would tempt me otherwise. I still stand by the Parallax Wave pick, but... I mean, at this point, we're cutting a bunch of cards, so I could definitely cut Fire Blast, probably cut Firebolt, probably cut Gut, and then Gut is a kind of dumb name, honestly. Apologies to the True Soul Zealot Goblin Shaman. And I still want to play Inti. So now there's Othari, but I just don't want to take another red-white card without having the lands to cast it. I might just take Intrepid Adversary. I think Intrepid Adversary is pretty busted. But, and I can't probably take Magda. Ranger Captain's probably going to wheel. I mean, I guess I could take Othari because I have this Mana Crypt. It is better than Guardian Scale Lord. All right, fine. I'll take that. I also think Intrepid Adversary is like 35% or something to wheel. And I have a ton of 2-drops, so I guess I'm not that worried there. Mana Crypt also makes Skull Clamp a bit more appealing, I will say that. All right, here's Hero of Bladehold, sure. Good, another 4-drop, exactly what we needed. White is so open, I just need to get some of the really premium white cards, which, to be fair, there aren't that many left, because Swords is gone. I already have Parallax Wave. I already have, like, Luminarch Aspirant. So what's left is, like, Thalia and Solitude are some of the big ones, but also just a red-white land would be so amazing. Even a red-green land would help me turn Windswept Teeth into a red-white source, and I didn't think Zeator's Proving Ground was quite appealing enough, just because a tapped source is so different here. All right, so here, definitely not taking Showdown or Fiery Confluence. It really is just Elite Spellbinder versus Lotus Petal, and I think I'll just take the Spellbinder. I think Elite Spellbinder is very strong. I just don't really like Lotus Petal in these aggro decks. Okay, there's a red-white tap land, which, you know, it taps for both red and white. I guess I will take it. I don't think I need Cathar Commando. I'm already going to be cutting playables here. One more shot for Plateau. Ugh. Not loving my chances here. There's also a Taiga and Stomping Ground as outs, I suppose. Or one of the Triomes. If I get a Triome, I really would like it to be a red-white X Triome, because the thought of getting a tapped red source off Windswept Heath. I mean, I would play Zeotor's Proving Ground. I just didn't want to take it over. Oh, there's a Plateau. All right, that solves my problems. Well, it doesn't like solve them, but it makes them so much better. Sorry, Lauren. Now I have 3 red-white sources. Now I can have a playable mana base, and I get to cast these red cards. So we're looking pretty good. I probably still take out a Braid, because I still want to minimize the amount of red I have. And right now I've got 5 red spells, and I need to cut another card. I don't want to cut any of the ones. Probably should be a 3, and I think Steel Seraph might be it. Oh, and Guardian Scale Lord. Esper Sentinel did wheel. I'll be happy to... Ooh, there's a Dismember. That's still in the pack, huh? Dismember's really good. I do have a lot of removal already. Ooh, let's take the Esper Sentinel here. 16 land plus a Mana Crypt right now. Okay. I mean, just also, part of the reason I'm prioritizing 1-drop so much, 1-drop into Luminarch or Inti is really, really good. Like, turn 1 Esper Sentinel, turn 2 Inti attack, it's now a 2-2. That's sick. Would I play Beaumont Courier in this deck? Yeah, I think I probably would. So I'll pass Contagion, even though that's a bit of a risk. Guess I'll take the Dragon just in case. I don't think I'm going to play... No, you know what? Actually, I'm more likely to play Savine's Reclamation. Intrepid Adversary and Ranger Captain both wield. I like the Adversary more. Okay. I mean, I think this ended up about as good as it could have, given where we're at. I like the direction we want. I guess Grist is the card I at least want to play against. You know, I do like Showdown of the Scalds. This is not a bad Showdown deck. This deck's kind of all in on drawing Mana Crypt, but, you know, so it goes. All right, let's take a look at deck building. All right, so we've got here, this is 32 cards with 4 lands. Oh, hold on. Sort by mana value. All right. Guess it doesn't like when I move these there. All right, let's try that way. Magical Land is so funny. So this is 12, basically kind of like 13 lands. So we've got 4 cuts to make, or 5 cuts depending on if I want to play 17 plus Crypt, but I think 16 plus Crypt is going to be okay. So 5 cuts here. I'm thinking, well, Legionnaire goes there. Looking at these 3s, looking at these 4s and 5s, I've got to cut something from the high end. And Fourth Eolingus could actually be good on 3 mana, but I think keeping it on 5 is nice and respectful. Do I want Showdown of the Scalds? Because so currently, let's actually before we do it, so if we're playing 16 lands, what's our mana base going to be? So if I add 4 mountains, I'll have 7 red sources and 12 white sources. Yeah, that doesn't sound crazy. If I did that, I think I'd at least want to cut Firebolt, keep Inti, Fourth Eolingus, Lightning Bolt, Burst Lightning, and maybe Showdown, and or almost assuredly Othari. So I need to cut 3 more cards. I actually like all these 3s quite a bit. That makes me want to cut Hero of Bladehold. And I'm thinking of cutting Showdown. The Showdown's a great last card to play, but so is Fourth Eolingus, Othari, and Parallax Wave. And I feel like the games where I draw Mana Crypt, I'm going to be in pretty good shape. Regardless, I might cut this Beaumont Courier. I think it's the least powerful, though it is good with Skull Clamp. I feel like Skull Clamp is going to be decent most of the games I draw it anyway. And I like Kithian, I like all that. So it really comes down to whether I want to cut a Selfless Spirit, a Showdown. I think I'll cut Selfless Spirit. And then end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red cards off 7 red sources. Or I could go to 12 white sources, or 11 white sources. Or I could cut one more one more spell, which is not crazy. Also, given that I have Showdown of the Scalds and Skull Clamp and like Inti, I have some anti-flood protection. Oh man, Seasoned Hallowblade Inti. I can just discard a card to exile my top card at any point. I mean, it's like super looting. It's not actually that bad. I like Esper Sentinel. I like all those. I mean, I could cut Burst Lightning, but Burst Lightning's pretty good. I like efficient spells, and that leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4 removal spells plus Skyclave. All right, I kind of think I just do this. So let's combine groups, sort by color. And it's saying 9-3, but I think I'm going to go 8-4. And one last look. All right, we have a perfectly mid Boros aggro deck. This deck could 3-0. I think a lot of my success is going to track with how often I draw Mana Crypt. If I have Mana Crypt in my opening hand, you know, one game per match, I feel like this deck's got a really good shot. If it's less than that, then yeah, we might struggle. It depends on what busted cards our opponents have. Also, we are missing Thalia, which is a pretty good hammer against like unfair decks. Though I do like these decks against fair decks. Having like cheap removal and a bunch of solid creatures like Skyclave and Flickerwisp and Council's Judgment, all that stuff, that actually works out pretty well. All right, let's see how this goes. Alrighty, time for round 1. And yeah, I mean, this is what we're gonna have without Mana Crypt. We're gonna go turn 1 Kythian, hope to draw a 2-drop, and then turn 3 can either add a threat to the board or kill whatever they have. Start with what? What did you say? Getting a breeding pool, and it's tapped luckily. Mox I like less. All right, well I drew a 2-drop, so that's something. Shouldn't play Caracas here. You shouldn't lead on non-basics if you don't need to, just because of Wasteland. And in the case of Caracas especially, I want them to play Raphaelos on turn 2 or something. Oh, I don't really want them to play a Channel on turn 2. I am going to lose this game, except there is a chance, actually, Caracas could help me win the game. Coveted Jewel is going to make that tough. But we'll see. Obviously, Coveted Jewel is very good with Channel. What do they have here? Time Warp? Okay, I don't like that. And something else, too. And Snap my Kythian to get green mana. All right. This is a turn 2, I will say that. Into Delighted Halfling Time Twister? Sure. So, yeah, this is what I was saying, that I will lose to decks that do stuff like this. I mean, any deck would lose to this. Turn 2, they have... Yeah, all right, I'm done. I don't really need to see any more cards. It's fine. Playing against Channel stuff. Do I want a Braid in my deck? Not really, but I guess I should probably put it in. It's okay. And do I want to cut something a little slower? Maybe I cut like a Blade Splicer. All right, I'll try that. Okay, I would like to play first. Can I get my Mana Crypt? No. So this hand is turn 1 nothing, turn 2 Porcelain Legionnaire, turn 3 play one of those. I'm actually just going to mulligan here. Yeah, this was a good mulligan. I am going to put Abrade back because I'm going to go turn 1 Luminarch, turn 2 Adeline, and if I draw a red source, I'd rather slam Athari than Abrade. I will put Abrade back. They're mulliganing as well. Okay, let's see how this goes. Luminarch Aspirant, and this gets a counter. Hopefully they don't have anything close to as busted as last game. They did start with Once Upon a Time again. It's a good place to have it in your opening hand. Let's see what you get. And then if I draw a mountain, I mean, I could have a pretty strong start. I mean, my turn 2 is going to be nothing like theirs. They basically won the game on turn 2. It's not clear if I was getting another turn because they were time warping and casting something else, but Island. Okay, Island's not too scary. Hopefully don't get Stern Scoldinged here. And oh, there's the mountain. Very nice. Adeline. Oh, nice. All right. And I'm going to put the counter on the Aspirant here and attack for 4. And I mean, I actually think this is close to a turn 3 kill. Let's see. Next turn I'll have 4, 5, 6, 11, 16. It's actually exactly 16. That's pretty sick. I mean, I did say Mana Crypt was going to be very crucial in my win, so... Othari, put a counter on the Luminarch, attack with everything. It doesn't matter the order. All right, take 16. No, 17, sorry, I miscounted. Well, there we go. There we go. Little turn 3 win. This is going to be a 30-second match here. Do I want Firebolt in? I definitely don't want Bowmarker. Actually, you know, I kind of don't want Skull Clamp here. I think I'm going to take out Showdown as well. And I'm going to put in Firebolt and Fire Blast. I'm going to add a Mountain. Hopefully that doesn't get me. But I think this is just going to be a race here. And Fire Blast is very good against Channel. So let's see if this works out. I'm playing Fire Blast off of 7 red sources. All right, well, I'm going to mulligan this hand, of course. Mulligan. Yeah, I've got to keep this. And I think I put Restless Bivouac on the bottom. Yeah, I really don't see myself bivouacking. And they went turn 1, nothing. I'm just going to play Esper Sentinel on 1 because this could mess up their turn 2 play. Would be nice if it did. And then I get to go Figure plus Pump. And now I kind of wish I kept the Restless Bivouac, but... Ooh, turn to Waterlogged Grove is not bad. All right, Caracas, Burn Spell. No, I will play Luminarch. At least they only have 1 forest here. I'll attack, and if they want to trade for a Fellows, that's fine. Oh, okay. I'm in for that. That feels pretty good to me. Are they? This can't be a good land to play. I mean, it's not a good land to play on turn 2, so they could have another land in hand. But it's not a green land is most likely the case. Coalition Relic, sure. I think I'm just going to play 2 of my creatures. So let me do this. And I'm not that worried about Wasteland. And I am a little more concerned about like a Time Twister. So I am going to play the Plateau here. Porcelain Legionnaire, Figure of Destiny. Pass. All right, I'm not feeling great about this. I do like that I got to trade for a fellow, so that works out okay. But they're just going to get to play something kind of big this turn. And what I'm hoping to draw here would be Parallax Wave. They sacked Waterlogged Grove. Okay, that's a pretty weak play. Interesting. What else are they going to do here? Play a Mox, sure. Yeah, they have a bunch of stuff. Oh, I guess I do play Elite Spellbinder. It's got to be good here. I mean, they have a lot of mana, but it could still mess up their turn a little bit. And I could see what they've got. Okay, it's like a Hull Breacher. Oh, man, okay. They don't have a draw 7, though. Yeah, we'll take the Channel. They had Spell Pierce in their deck still. It's odd, but okay. They're at 16. This loses... I think I'm going to put the counter on the Porcelain Legionnaire because I want to get damage in this turn. And the Hull Breacher can trade for either Luminarch or Figure. Unsurprising that they're not blocking. They're just hoping to draw a draw 7. They don't have anything in their hand. All their hand is a Spell Pierce and a Gruul Turf. The Channel's exiled. All right, if you draw the draw 7, then you win. If you don't, you probably lose. Yeah, there we go. All right, we stole a game against an unfair deck, and we'll take it. We'll take the match here. So, all right, on to round 2. Alrighty, time for round 2. What a great opening hand. So much action. We have 7 spells. How could we lose? We're going to mulligan that. Well, there's Mana Crypt, so we're keeping. And we are definitely keeping this hand. What are we going to put back? It's actually kind of interesting. Well, I'm not putting back Mana Crypt, Plains, Thraben, probably not putting back Esper Sentinel. So actually, let's talk about what are we going to do on our first turn. Honestly, with this hand, I would go Plains, Mana Crypt, Thraben Inspector, Crack the Clue, depending on what my opponent, who's very good, by the way, it does. And if I draw a land, I'll probably Flicker Wisp the Inspector. I actually kind of feel like Esper Sentinel doesn't have a fit here. The only way I'd want to cast Esper Sentinel is if I don't draw anything else, and I don't draw any lands, but even then I'm probably drawing better spells than Esper Sentinel. And I think Othari is actually decent with the clue off Inspector plus Flicker maybe for another clue. All right, I've kind of talked myself into putting Esper Sentinel away and seeing how this goes. Turn 1, Zeranorb. Well, there's a lot worse lands we could have. Well, or a lot worse zeros that they could have played. I don't like that. I'm going to play Mana Crypt first. Okay, didn't get Spell Pierce. Great. Then I think I still do Thraben plus draw here past the turn. Because if I had another land, then I would be a lot more inclined to like play Clamp and equip. But given that I don't, I think this is the best play. Mana Vault. Okay, might be playing against like a Tinker deck here. Let's draw. Land is good. Land is good. I won the flip. Caracas isn't terrible. Let's go attack for 1. I'm just going to use all my mana. I'm going to play Flicker Wisp on Thraben and then play Skull Clamp. And again, playing around Daze, I'd rather Flicker Wisp not get dazed. Clearly not that likely that they have Daze. Also, if Ekin wants to tap the Mana Vault to cast like a Miscalculation, that I don't care about. And I'll play Skull Clamp too. Why not? All right, get my clue. Now, if I draw a red, I can slam Othari. If I don't, I can play Intrepid Adversary, kick it once, and then equip Skull Clamp to something. And I've got some threats on the board. Ekin might have Mystical Tutor as one of the cards you could think about casting. That's one of the cards where you'd think for a while. Thirst for Discovery is also kind of interesting because you have to tap your Mana Vault, which is not ideal, but it is a thing you can do. So we'll see which one of those he has, or nothing, because, again, he's browsing Twitter, grabbing a drink. You can never take too much stock in how long your opponent thinks, but called the Mystical Tutor, didn't I? All right, hopefully this isn't something too good. Balance. Yeah, honestly, balance isn't that bad. I have Skull Clamp and a Clue Token and a Mana Crypt. Balance, sack all my lands, kills... It's a 3 for 4, and you're down 1 off Mystical Tutor, so it's like even. That doesn't bother me too much. Next turn, I'll probably just go Intrepid Adversary, Skull Clamp it, is my guess. I even slow rolled the Caracas to have the best land in hand. What I want to have happen at some point, it would be so sick, is someone Force of Will a balance after sacking all the lands. Oh, it's going to sack 1 land. Okay. So still, that was a 3 for 3. And that's just not that bad. All right. I won the flip. Another Plains. 21. Yeah, let's cast Intrepid Adversary. And I am going to equip Clamp here. I think that's just a better use of my mana. And I can't play anything else. So I'm going to play Bivouac this turn. And now next turn I can play Othari. With Ekin at 21, it just doesn't feel like a 3 power attacker is really what I want. Oh, this could be really good. Don't have a counterspell, please. If it doesn't have a counterspell, then I can Othari and kill Teferi, assuming it +1s, which makes the most sense. All right, no counter, no cheap removal. This is what we're hoping for. Because if that happens, then I get to jam here. And I think I still play not Caracas. Othari. Oh, attack Teferi. Make a token, attack Teferi, kill Teferi. Yeah, that is awesome. Now I love the spot. And the reason to slow roll Caracas there is maybe Ekin has a Swords to Plowshares in hand or something. Don't like seeing all this artifacts. And now playing Caracas protects Othari. I lost the flip, how unlucky. So let's go Caracas Spellbinder. See what's going on over there. Mystic Confluence Memory Jar. Oh. Let's take the Mystic Confluence, and I think we're just about going to win here. Let's equip the Rebel token, I suppose, and slam. I don't even know if I need to play Porcelain Legionnaire, because I assume I don't, right? This is definitely lethal next turn. Yeah, so let's just pass. And now, well, I guess with a Zern Orb out, it's actually still probably lethal. This is 3, 6, 9, 13 plus 3 tokens. I mean, Othari does a lot of damage. All right, up a game here. Playing against blue-white control. Braid is definitely of interest. Maybe, nah, Guardian Scalelord's not that great. Gut is kind of interesting too. Beaumont Courier I kind of like. What do I not want? Burst Lightning is, I think, worse than a Braid in this matchup. You lose the ability to go face, but killing an artifact, he's probably got some artifact synergy stuff, is my guess. I like Showdown against Balance, Skull Clamp against Balance. Anything that you can put into play that doesn't get hit by Balance is good against Balance, shocker. I like Beaumont too, probably over Blade Splicer. I think just going lower to the ground is good. Samwise is good. I mean, Savine's Reclamation is kind of interesting, but I feel like when I get balanced, I might get Zern Orbed also, so having a 3-drop in my deck isn't ideal. And Gut just plays into Wraths. Selfless Spirit doesn't stop Balance, so I think this looks like a decent call. All right, on the draw here. No Mana Crypt, but this hand hits pretty hard, so I'm going to keep. Eakin's mulliganing here. Going to get to go turn 1 Kithian, because I'm going to tap out the next 2 turns, so Kithian is going to be a better attacker than Figure of Destiny, I believe. Also, Figure even shines in the late game, so a lot of the time when you have another 1-drop in a Figure, you're going to play the other 1-drop first. Depends on your hand. If I didn't have Inti in hand, it's actually still close. I could see doing it either way. But I will play Kithian, though. Because the curve of turn 1 Figure, turn 2 1-drop plus activate, turn 3 activate Figure as a 4/4 is pretty good. We mulliganed and Enlightened Tutored. Mulligan to 5 and cast Enlightened Tutor. So it's kind of like a mulligan to 4. We're going to get a Mana Vault to play a big spell. Yeah, there's Mana Vault. Let's see what the big spell is. There's Academy, okay. No play there. Let's play the Plateau, play Inti. If I hit Mana Crypt off Inti here, it'd be sick, because I am going to discard Plains. All right, and I hit Showdown of the Skalds. Well, I was pretty far from casting that. I think discarding a land to get a +1/+1 counter is actually a fine deal here, and you know, there was a chance I could hit Mana Crypt, a 1 out of 31. we'll take our 3-ish percenter. All right, we got a Teferi or something. A Golos. Golos is pretty good. Getting Celestial Colonnade. All right. This makes attacking a bit less enticing. A 3/5 is pretty big. So I think what I'm going to do here is play Seasoned Hallowblade, play Figure of Destiny, and I'm going to pass here, and then next turn I'm going to attack with everything, and Golos can eat one of my things, though I guess can't quite activate Colonnade, though if any land, he can activate the Colonnade as well. And that would probably change the attack to being less good, or to being not good. But here's my combo. I'm going to attack with Hallowblade. I'm going to discard a land to make it a 4/2 trample, and then, well, we'll see what happens here. And then I can discard to make it indestructible. Are we drawing 2 or are we killing Inti? I mean, Inti, we're drawing 2. All right, I actually don't mind that, because Inti's pretty integral to my plans, as it were. Because every time I make this indestructible, I also get to scope with Inti here. Oh, wow. And something else. And a Manifold Key, which can untap the Mana Vault. That's pretty good. Eakin's got a lot of mana next turn. Like, we're losing to upheaval range, so the multiply worked out pretty well. And depending on what that last card is. If it's action, then we could be in trouble. If it's not, then I think I'm going to win very quickly here, because I'm attacking for a lot of damage this turn. I mean, I'm probably going to put the +1/+1 counter on. Actually, I don't even know what I'm going to put it on. Let's find out. Let's draw for the turn, see if we draw anything useful. Karakas would be sick. Oh, Lightning Bolt? That's nice too. All right, let's attack with everything. I'm going to discard a Plains. I'm going to put a +1/+1 counter, I think, on the Seasoned Hallowblade. And exile a mountain. All right. And I assume you're going to block Inti, but I guess we'll find out. This is going to flip next turn as well, which is kind of nice. So there's a lot you could block. Could block Figure of Destiny. I think no matter what Golos blocks, I'm probably going to bolt Golos. The other question here is, I'm playing a mountain this turn. I kind of want to just discard this mountain in hand to trigger Inti again. See if I hit a spell. Oh, I hit Parallax Wave. Oh, that's what I'm going to play then. Perfect. All right, that's fine. We'll let that happen. And you go to 8. This flips. Mountain. Parallax Wave. And then I'm going to plus Gideon and force Golos to attack Gideon, I guess. And then pass the turn. And now I have more than lethal next turn, and even balance actually isn't that bad because I drew Parallax Wave and I can hide all my creatures if I need to. And I'll let the Golos hit Gideon down to 2 loyalty. I don't care about Gideon's loyalty. I'm not using my Parallax Wave here because I don't want to Parallax Wave Golos, because if balance gets cast, I just want to wave my creatures. Okay, what do you got? Actually, Upheaval would also let me do that. Thran Dynamo, you have 1.5 million mana. Is your last card good? Well, I'm scared. Okay. What do you have? Oh my god. I don't like this. This is a big artifact, like a Walking Ballista or something? Walking Ballista X equals 7. Okay. You're at 8. And this becomes... Oh, it's going to kill my Gideon as well. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I don't like it, but I think I'm going to go Parallax Wave, Parallax Wave. Ballista hits the board. And then end of turn. Oh yeah, you're gonna kill Gideon, sure. That was happening no matter what. End of turn, I'm gonna hold down control and I'm gonna Parallax Wave this thing 3 times. And I take 5 off Ballista. I don't want to let Golos go again. It's gonna and the reason I did it this way is I wanted to remove all the counters off Wave because I wanted to get my 2 creatures back. All right, Ballista was good. I mean, they had a 14 mana spell. That's usually good to cast, but I kind of feel okay here. I get my 2 creatures back. I'm going to draw for my turn. Oh, Flicker Wisp. That would have been a good one to Parallax Wave, to be honest. I think I do just play it because it's a good attacker, and I'm going to Flicker Wisp Mountain here and pass the turn. All right. So probably just going to untap Mana Vault with Manifold Key is my guess. So Ekin is at 1 million life. Or sorry, 1 million mana. Not 1 million life, definitely. I next turn have 3 attackers against 2 blockers. Golos blocks Figure. Colonnade blocks Flicker Wisp, takes 3 down to 5, but then the Figure doesn't die, and the Flicker Wisp does. Oh man, we drew something? Oh man, it's expensive? I don't like that. Hopefully it's not too savage. Hopefully this is activating Colonnade. Oh wow, that's kind of crazy. Why are we doing that? Do we draw like a Time Walk or something? No, because Golos might attack then too. All right, I'll take it. You must have drawn a white source, actually. That makes the most sense. No. Oh, Portable Hole would make it so you can't block with Colonnade anyway. All right. Well, if I draw removal for Golos, I win, even a Caracas. Well, that's not Caracas, but it's not bad, because now I put a counter on the Flicker Wisp. I hit for 4, you're down to 4, and now I have a Bolt. All right, you got to top deck again, because otherwise I have 3 attackers, you have 2 blockers, and I have a Lightning Bolt, so no Zern Orbs, please, no balances, no expensive artifacts. Memory Jar. Huh. Okay, you got a lot of mana. That was a good top deck. You top deck to draw 7 with 20 mana in play, sure. I took out Burst Lightning, so I don't even think there's a real reason to Lightning Bolt here. All right, I drew mostly bricks, but I can cast Samwise. Okay. I guess we'll see what happens here, but... So how much mana does he can actually have? 5, 6, 7, 10, 14... 14 mana? I mean, that's a lot of mana. It's kind of a shame. I really thought I was going to get there, but I guess the Memory Jar top deck was a good one. I'm not dead yet, but there's likely a lot in Eakin's deck that would cause me to lose. Balance. Interesting. So I have a play here. I can discard my whole hand. I think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to discard my whole hand to Season Hallowblade so that Eakin can't cast any more spells. Can cast an instant, but he can't cast any sorceries, and I can't cast any of these spells anyway except Samwise, and I'll give up the Samwise. I don't really care too much about that. And I'll keep the Flicker Wisp, I guess. Okay. And currently you can't activate Colonnade, so that actually is just going to be lethal. We'll see. We'll see if you got something, but it has to be an instant speed card or it's not going to work out. All right, I'm going to discard everything. Balance resolves. Oh, yeah, then I think I win. That was a great play by me, I'm not going to lie. All right, so I have to sack everything but Flicker Wisp. And I made him discard the One Ring and Tezzeret. Oh, massive mistake on my opponent's part. That's just game. I attack for 4 in the air. Yep. All right, well, we had some moves, and we used those moves. On to the finals. Let's see if we can make it to draft number 2. Alrighty. Ready for round 3 against the end boss himself, playing against Reed Duke. And on the play, I would not consider this hand on the draw. I've got to keep this on the play. I don't think I can mulligan turn 1 clamp, turn 2 2-drop, turn 3 2-drop. I don't know. This hand is fine. It's a little slow, but this deck has one card that really speeds it up, Mana Crypt. And I can't just mulligan every hand without Mana Crypt. I will say the presence of Mana Crypt makes me mulligan a bit more aggressively, but I think on the play this has to be good. Oh, Blade Splicer's a nice draw. Let's go Season Hallowblade, because this is the best against Fatal Push. Though I guess Porcelain Legionnaire also lives through Fatal Push. This also lives through like Blood Chief's Thirst. And then turn 3, I'm just going to Blade Splicer here. Hopefully I don't get like hemmed. Swamp is a good start for me because it's invasion or Shards of Alara Swamp actually, I believe. Skull Clamp is going to be really good against any black-based attrition strategy, which Reed actually does indeed like. Well, Island makes it a little bit less enticing. Shooting of the Scalds, not a great draw yet, but you know, it could develop. We'll see. All right, I'm going to go for the Blade Splicer here and hope it resolves. Unsurprisingly, it does not. Lose focus. All right. Well, now, next turn, if Reed doesn't play anything of note and I miss on lands, I'll probably attack and then clamp something because I want to hit land drops. I could either clamp the Hallowblade or play and clamp Legionnaire. Cast my Divination. Chrome Host Seed Shark. Don't love that. Esper Sentinel? All right, let's actually clamp the Esper Sentinel, I think. Play my 2-mana Divination, my Night's Whisper. Okay, and I drew a land. And I can Samwise back the Esper Sentinel. Yeah, that I think is probably good. I could also just play Porcelain Legionnaire, but I kind of like getting back Esper Sentinel because it's cheap, and I want more cheap cards. I don't think I need to get back the Windswept Heath here. Let's just get Esper Sentinel back. And Who shalt become the ring bearer? Let's still make the Hallowblade the ring bearer. Pass the turn. I can't attack into a 2/4. All right, I don't love this too much. Chromehost Seed Shark was a pretty great play because it not only stops my attacks, but also provides value. So it's kind of 2-for-1ing, maybe more, depending on how many incubate tokens Reed gets. If Reed doesn't have fast mana, then this might be okay. I would have felt a lot better if the Blades Place resolved, of course. And it looks like Reed's on classic blue-black control so far. Academy's gone. Narset Parter of Veils. Well, there goes my skull clamping. Makes a 3/3 token, and then is probably going to use the Narset. Let's see what Reed picks up. Ancestral Recall. Ancestral Recall. Not great for me. All right. We're getting kind of worked here. If I find Mana Crypt this turn, I like what I've got going. Adeline, huh? I think I'm just going to play Showdown. I think I need the power level of Showdown of the Scalds to get me out of this. All right, let's hit a land and some spells. Whoa, no lands. Awkward. All right. I don't think it really makes too much sense. Actually, let's attack Narset with both. Reed can block Samwise, and then Narset dies, or can block Hallowblade, and I'll just discard Porcelain Legionnaire because I have way too many spells that I can cast. And it also knocks Narset down to 1 loyalty, because so then Reed can't use the minus. Not that that's fantastic, given that Reed has got 7 cards in hand and two creatures that he can effectively cast for 2 mana, including a 2-mana 3/3. So I'm pretty dead this game, but you know, I gotta battle. If I had hit a land there, it would have been a lot better. Like if I could go land, cast one of these bolts. Instead, I'm going to be able to cast 2 of my 4 Showdown spells. I guess I could cast a third if I drew a mountain. Then I could cast one of the white cards plus the 2 bolts. I mean, we'll see. I assume that I'm going to lose since Reed has so many cards in hand and already has like a slightly better board position. But the one thing I have going for me is the second and third chapter of Showdown. I mean, that could equate to, let's say I played 3 spells next turn and 2 spells, like 5 +1/+1 counters. Like that's a lot, depending on what Reed does here. With 8 cards in hand, though, I'm not liking my chances. All right, here we go. Oh, we're not. All right, what do we got? This is Mind Twist X = 2. Okay. Kept Adeline. It's probably the one I wanted to keep the least. I wanted to keep Esper Sentinel the most, but all right, that's fine. That's fine. Let's draw. So we get a +1/+1 counter. So I'm going to start by casting. What am I going to start by casting? It's kind of interesting. There is a bunch I could Burst Lightning the Narset. I could Council Judgment the Seed Shark. I think I'm going to start with Burst Lightning, cast it on Narset. Put a +1/+1 counter on the Hallowblade here. Okay, and then I'm going to cast Council's Judgment. I guess I should play my land first. I'm not going to cast Bolt at this point. Put a +1/+1 counter on Samwise. Let's see if this resolves. All right, take out the Seed Shark. And then let's equip Skull Clamp to Samwise. And I think I'm going to attack with just Samwise here, because I don't really want to discard a card to save Seasoned Hallowblade right now. And I'm happy drawing 2 cards off my Skull Clamp if this works. If Reed does block. And if Reed does not block, then that's fine too. You can actually trade the 1/1 token for it if he wants. He's got 6 cards in hand. All right. And I'll pass the turn. I can't cast anything else. He's going to, at the very minimum, transform one of the 3/3s is my guess here. All right, I mean, that could have been worse. I'm down to just one card because that Bolt and the Spellbinder are out of here. Reed's still on 7 cards. Hasn't played a land yet. If he attacks with a 3/3, I'm just going to take it. Then next turn, I'm going to cast Adeline, put a +1/+1 counter on something. Maybe the Samwise again, just to incentivize trading off. Make some attacks. Perhaps clamp the 1/1 from Adeline if it survives, though I don't think that's super likely it does. Reed could animate the other token and bash, but that wouldn't bother me too much. Dothy Voidwalker. Well, that turns off Skull Clamp, so, and my Lightning Bolt's gone, so is my Burst Lightning and my Council's Judgment, so I think I'm pretty dead here. I need to draw a Parallax Wave. If I draw a Parallax Wave, I win the game. Okay, at least we have outs. Let's do it. Come on, Parallax Wave. Not a Parallax Wave. Okay, so I can play Adeline and put a +1/+1 counter on something, and then I die. And I can't draw cards off Skull Clamp. And if I did, I'd lose some life. Okay, not good enough. Playing against blue-black control with some good cards, Shieldred, Ancestral. It's going to be tough. I still like Skyclave. I still like Parallax Wave, Lothari, 4th. I think Showdown's actually pretty good. Burst Lightning looks a little weak. Just doesn't kill that much. I think I would rather have... No, it kills Dothy Voidwalker, though. Maybe Firebolt? That actually doesn't even work better against Dothy Voidwalker. There's also... I could also just play the Abrade. Abrade does kill the Incubate tokens, but obviously that's not like that exciting. I could also play Beaumont Courier. I mean, Beaumont actually seems kind of good against the stuff Reed's got. All right. I think this is where I'm at here, and I think Skull Clamp is still worth keeping in, even though Reed does have Dothy Voidwalker. Oh, what I really need to do is draw Caracas against his Shieldred. That would be a sick combo. Yeah, I would be pretty happy if that turned out that way. Actually, I'm going to also cut the Legionnaire. I'm going to put the Burst back in. I feel like I'd rather just lower the curve of Legionnaire to Beaumont and keep the Burst Lightning. All right, game 2 on the play. Let's go Mana Crypt. No, but Inti is one of the cards that would make me keep this hand. Obviously, Reed can have an answer to it, and that's not good, but once again, I can't mulligan every hand without Mana Crypt, and turn 2 Inti has a pretty decent chance of finding me a 3-drop, and my 4 and 5 are both very good against control deck. So let's play the Plateau, play Inti. Hopefully this doesn't get countered. Is Reed going to force it? No, he did not. He's not playing a Dothy Voidwalker on 2 unless he's got Sunken Ruins. That would be a good technology. Oh, he does have Sunken Ruins. Hopefully this doesn't mean killing Inti. All right, I'm going to go ahead and attack. If he kills Inti, I'm going to be pretty sad. Oh, Ice. All right. I don't have another play. I don't think I want to crack Heath. Doesn't seem like a good reason to. Well, I didn't draw a 3-drop, and he tapped down Inti, so I don't really like what's going on here. And he killed it. Well, now it's time for Showdown with nothing in play, which is not ideal, and I kind of feel like he has Spell Pierce, but what can I do? I've got to cast this. Yep. Oh, Ancestral. Even worse. Into Daze? Or Force? Can't force it if it's flying around the screen, I'll tell you that much. Well, I'm getting demolished. Ice into Dam, into Ancestral, into Daze. And yeah, I mean, I could have mulliganed. I just don't think... Mulliganing against that set of cards, I don't think would have necessarily done much for me. I kind of hope that this turn he's going to play Narset, and I get to Otari it. At least my hand is 2 powerful cards. So, okay, Narset is good. And he doesn't use it, which is perfect, because this then just kills it and leaves behind some action here. Okay, didn't have Force of Will. Luckily, I drew another land, which is pretty bad. I can't really afford to do that. Like, if he kills Othari here, then I'm pretty much done for. But if he doesn't, that's good. Also, because of Othari's ability, he needs to kill Othari and the Rebel token. I hope he has a Shieldred or something. That I wouldn't mind. Oh, Toxic Deluge. Yeah, we're getting worked here. Just in time to draw a land. Yeah. I mean, I could just concede now, but I'll play another turn or two. I don't really have another big threat except, Fourth Eorlingus. Yep, that is my answer. No real point in playing Parallax Wave on an empty board, I don't think. Let's see, is this Mind Twist? Sure, I guess. All right, now it's time for me to Fourth Eorlingus, X equals 4. No, I'll play my Caracas. Also, by the way, I mean, I kept Inti Showdown Othari 4 lands, and I've drawn 5 lands in a Parallax Wave so far. So, is what it is. Oh, the good news about Grave Titan is even if I draw 4th Eorlingus, I still lose here. And I drew another Plains. So, there we go. Well, good luck in the top 8, Reed. I will not be joining you there. This deck was just okay. I was happy enough to make the finals. Obviously, I'm disappointed not to win. I didn't expect to win with this deck. And every single person I played against had a better deck than I did, I would assume. Like, yeah, I played against the Channel deck that killed us on turn 2, and we managed to Mana Crypt them game 2, and then they had a bad draw game 3. Played against the Blue-White Academy deck that just completely threw game 3, like would have actually won. Had he not played Balance. If he just plays the One Ring first, I don't think I can win. And then Reed just demolished me here. It wasn't even close to being close. So that'll do it for today. Hopefully next time we make top 8. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another draft. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out the channel and you won't miss a single draft.